レバナントワイトよ。人の身であまり調子に乗らないようにね。
I wanna be your sledgehammer. Why don't you call my name? You better call the sledgehammer. This can be my testimony. I'm your sledgehammer. Let there be no doubt about it.
What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Hardcorn, and today we've got ourselves a new addition to Action Taimanin, Wight the Wraith. We'll be taking a look at her and what she brings to the table to see if she's gonna be worth your gems or not. Make sure to subscribe for more Taimanins and gaming content. Now let's get into it. Let's go over who Wight is. She has her own supporter added to the permanent pool ages ago as a core member of the Human Haters Club. Our girl here is an assist demon who has quite the high-ranking one to be known as a Wraith. She can reanimate the dead and control them. She's a revenant knight who serves the Corpse Lord. Being an undead, she possesses the ability to revive herself. She could even use her yellow Yasha gas clouds to manipulate people and their memories. Sounds pretty cool. She has the ability to misdirect people with the gas, raise the dead, and also come back to life. Almost none of this will matter, and let's see why. But before that, let's show you what else she's got. So here's her costumes. We have the default. We have the Desire Shop, Blizzard Queen. Her rival outfit, Silver Yasha Battle Armor. Secret Knight Revenant. Uninvited Party Guest. Revenant's Day Off. And the Bathrobe. For her affinities, it's going to be level 5, it's 10% item drop rate boost. Level 10 plus 10 AP. Level 15 plus 10 AP. And level 20, it's another plus 10 AP. So she'll max out at plus 30 AP and a 10% drop rate boost. Her weapons are pretty straightforward. You beat people with a gigantic hammer until they stop thinking. So she's got her Momochi weapon, arena stuff. Her SRs are going to be Hammer of Legong, which is, when you use a skill, increases damage dealt by 17.5%, and it goes up from there, obviously. She has a machine-hating weapon as well, so that helps out nicely. Her package weapon, Saturn's Blessing, not the greatest. It gives her 2 revives, and it gives her another healing as well. It also gives her a critical rate boost and speed rate boost as well, and also it's one of her enablers to help her die faster, while also giving her a damage boost. However, since it scales off of current HP instead of max HP, you can only use this about 2 times to get any real value out of it. So it won't actually kill her, it'll just get her close. What I've found to be the best thing for her in the first place is Adamant Marcus, her gotcha signature weapon. Its passive being restores 2% of max HP whenever killing an enemy. Once an enemy is killed, damage increases by 2 to 4% up to 10 stacks. So if you're fighting bosses that spawn more adds, or you have a run up to a boss that you have to kill a bunch of small enemies, you have a permanent, this can't be dispelled, boost. Also, the secondary form of healing helps offset the fact of Wight having terrible healing in the first place. So next, let's take a look at her passive. It's going to be Proud Revenant. Upon death, she restores 50% of her HP and resurrects once per battle. After resurrection, increases damage by 50% and applies super armor. When she's using Saturn, she has that equipped. Her passive will activate first so she can get the armor and attack boost then. Saturn will then activate when she dies for the second time onward. Designed for longevity with a very huge benefit, but the caveat of her dying in the first place just typically goes against what you'd do as a player. You want to live as long as possible. It creates unique strategies where you're going to die to reset yourself and get the armor and attack boost she needs. You'd think this would be nice and harder content with a free revive and a comeback mechanic, but it only helps. It doesn't really solve a lot of stuff in the first place. So let's look at some skills. So we'll start off with Quake. Wight has a New Age gap closer attack. This has her jump to the enemy to slam her hammer down and cause a big AoE blast. This jump also has very strong tracking, but also requires Wight to be facing the target. It's actually quite helpful if you're trying to escape because you won't be sent into danger. I wish more of these double dash skills had this. The long recovery after using the skill makes this a liability as you're going to be taking a lot of damage during said recovery. You need to die to get some of those benefits for Wight, so I guess this helps. So we have Yellow Yaksha. It adds more damage to her already strong basic attacks and particle gain. It modifies the string to have another hit. It's nothing too crazy. Now here's Puppet Cannon. It's a line drive laser blast attack. Being her blue signature skill, it can take advantage of the multiple different defense downs. In a world that now really allows you to crit in every all content, skills like this now have a place. She has to stand still for a little bit after casting to make use of this attack so it falls flat. The snaring ability helps crowd control, but the lockout loses opportunity. It's a bit of a liability and I don't like using it. Next is Wool Reverse, another high uptime skill that she would like to use all day for the immense utility. It's modified by the main slot and offers features like attack and defense down, and an attack buff depending on the colors. This skill is armored from start to finish, but thankfully has a quicker recovery compared to Quake. The knock-up effect is a small detail, but proves to be useful in a variety of scenarios. It buys little bits of time in arena, and can lead to combos in many situations. PvE finds difficulty as you need to break armor, but the skill in general is way too good to pass up. Now with Yellow Miasma, this is a skill that finds a surprising amount of use with Wight. Due to this activating when you hit dodge after getting hit, you're getting Wight out of a recovery animation and keeping the heat on. You're going to be taking a lot of damage with her, so you're going to have a lot of chances to proc this. The skill itself is unremarkable, with her smacking the enemy, jumping back, activating Incredible Gassy to use an underwhelming version of Blade Storm. Now we come over to Yaksha's Judgment. This one is a lot of fun. It's her big signature green skill. It's got speed debuff, snare, and hard-hitting AoE damage. Wight brings out both barrels with her B-buddies to apply 2 debuffs with the set, and then have Wight come in and slam dunk her hammer to anyone unfortunate to be there. It helps a lot with laying the hurt on more erratic enemies, such as Worm Knight. Not to mention that this is also armored by default. She is going to get this off and deal a million billion damage. With Healing Wave, on an extreme dodge, she summons her bees to fire lasers at the ground to create a small healing field effect. That's it. It doesn't give any debuffs, and the slot modifiers are the bare minimum for field healing, such as range, amount, and frequency. The tight range of this field combined with her dodge being exactly the distance of this field means she wants this for extremely close encounters. I have the Awakening modifier to increase amount healed, so I'm getting 3% max HP heals every time this thing ticks. In her case, it really is not enough. She can fight chip damage, but if she gets interrupted or stunned, forget about it. She cannot take any bursting whatsoever. Now over to Poisonous Golem, Wight summons her B-buddies to constantly keep attacking at range. Normally stuff like this where familiars are summoned are pretty terrible. This does not break the mold, but rather brings back an old idea. The set effects require triple colors, but the one that sticks out the most is a 30% slow in green. This is a heavy slow applied at a distance just like Noah's skill, Edgar Enigma in blue. This cast is also armored too, so she's going to get this off no matter what. It's fun in arena, but the fact that she has a heavy slow applied at a distance is like really good. With Hammerfall, this is Murasaki's skill to a T. However, instead of spamming the button to decide whether or not you want to end it early, Wight will always finish this regardless. This is her red signature and is just there for raw power. There's also course correction on kill, so this skill won't whiff for the most part. The super armor is not built into this skill and requires a full set. It's about as underwhelming as Murasaki's too. If you're using this, you just better win. This skill lasts so long in full colors, and if the boss isn't incapacitated, it'll just go in, eat your revival, or just flat out kill you. And finally, we have reached Vortex of Death, Wight's super duper spin cycle attack here. So it has her spinning and winning. This thing moves mountains. It's flexible with her colors, so if the target dies also, she's going to course correct her spin until there are no more valid targets. It's a very welcome aspect so you don't miss. You can get knocked out of this for sure, so watch out for gunfire or attacks from behind. So now that we've seen how she is, let's come to some conclusions. I'll put it simply. Wight feels like what Murasaki was before she got her major overtuning. Murasaki was interrupted at every turn and weak as it gets. Then they super-tuned her, and she became the monster we know now. Wight is like if they just took their modern sensibilities and put it on an old character. Even Wight's revival passive feels like something they would have put onto Murasaki if she didn't already have the utility of 3 characters inside. Wight just feels bad all the way around, except in green. Yaksha's Judgment is extremely strong skill, combined with her high base damage modifiers. Super one-shotter Wight is a way to play for sure. However, it is the definition of prohibitively expensive. The items you need will take you years to complete. Finally, is she gonna be worth your gems? Absolutely not. Right now, that is. You know someone hitting bad like old Wight here will have some sort of overtune renewal with some broken gear. You could do much, much more with Azuma, Murasaki, Spinel, Chizuru, the list goes on. They all have tools to be successful for themselves and others. She is so much truly a headache. I cannot exaggerate that more. But thanks for coming by and learning about Wight. If you wanted to know more about Taimanins and other games, make sure to subscribe. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye everybody.